Most people lose the day before it has even truly begun. Not because they lack talent, not because they have no goals, and not because life is against them. They lose in the first few minutes after opening their eyes. The alarm goes off. Their hand immediately reaches for the phone. Messages, news, emails, numbers, faces, other people's lives. Before they have a chance to decide what they want to think about, the world has already decided for them. Before they choose how they want to feel, a message makes them anxious. A headline makes them angry. An image makes them compare themselves to someone else. An email sends their mind racing into the future. And just like that, the day has barely begun, yet control is already gone. The Stoics understood a truth that most people overlook. The most important battle of your day does not take place at the office, on the street, or in confrontations with other people. It takes place inside your own mind, in the very first moments after you wake up. Will you master your own mind? Or will you let the world enter and take possession of it first? Only a very small number of people wake up with intention. They do not immediately react. They do not let their phone decide their first thought. They do not begin the day inside someone else's chaos. They create a space. And within that space, they reclaim their power. Not the power to control other people. Not the ability to force everything to happen exactly as they want, but a far more difficult kind of power. The ability to control their own attention, reactions, emotions, and actions. That is the real secret of the morning. Because if you cannot master the first 10 minutes of your day, do not be surprised when you lose control of the next 10 hours. In this video, you will discover Stoic morning principles that can change the way you enter each day. Not complicated rituals, not perfect routines that exist only on social media, but practical principles that can help you wake up calmer, think more clearly, act with greater intention, and stop handing control of your mind to anyone or anything outside of you. Because every morning, before the world has a chance to influence you, there is a brief moment when your mind still belongs entirely to you. The question is, will you protect it? Or will you give it away again? Marcus Aurelius was not a man who lived in perfect peace and quiet. He was the emperor of Rome. His days were filled with war, betrayal, disease, responsibility, political conflict, and decisions that could affect the lives of millions. But before facing the empire, he faced himself. In his private writings, later known as meditations, Marcus often began his day by preparing his mind for what was ahead. He reminded himself that today, he might encounter people who were selfish, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, or difficult. He did not do this to become pessimistic. He did it so he would not be caught off guard. Because what causes people to lose control is not only what happens to them, it is also the gap between what they expected to happen and what actually happens. You expect people to behave properly, so you become angry when they act selfishly. You expect your plans to unfold perfectly, so you panic when something goes wrong. You expect the day to begin peacefully, so a single unpleasant email is enough to ruin your entire morning. The Stoic does not try to control the world before getting out of bed. He prepares his mind to respond well when the world refuses to go according to plan. Epictetus taught that some things are within our control, while others are not. Your thoughts belong to you. Your choices belong to you. The way you respond belongs to you. But other people's attitudes, the day's news, the weather, unexpected events, and final outcomes are not entirely yours to control. The morning is when you need to remember this distinction most clearly. Otherwise, you will wake up trying to control everything outside yourself while neglecting the one thing that truly belongs to you, your own mind. Seneca also understood that each day is a small piece of your life. A morning wasted in distraction, anxiety, and unconscious reaction is not merely a few lost hours. It is a portion of your life handed over to things that do not deserve it. That is why the Stoics did not see the morning simply as a time to prepare the body. It was a time to establish command. Before speaking to others, you need to speak to yourself. Before taking in the opinions of the world, you need to define your own principles. Before dealing with your work, You need to decide who you will be when the work becomes difficult. Real control does not begin when everything becomes chaotic. It begins before that. It begins in those quiet minutes before you are pulled into the demands, notifications, and emotions of the day ahead. The average person waits until he is angry before trying to calm down. The Stoic prepares his calm before anger appears. The average person waits until he is distracted before trying to recover his discipline. The Stoic protects his attention before it is stolen. The average person enters the day hoping everything will go smoothly. The Stoic enters the day having already decided that no matter what happens, he will remain in command of how he responds. That is the difference between living by reflex and living by principle. And that difference begins the moment you open your eyes. You do not need to wake up at 5 in the morning. You do not need a perfect room, an expensive journal, or a 2-hour ritual. And you do not need to become a completely different person overnight. What you need is to stop beginning your day unconsciously. Because the way you live through the first few minutes after waking up often determines how you respond to the many hours that follow. If you begin in a rush, your mind will keep searching for more urgency. If you begin with your phone, your attention immediately becomes fragmented. If you begin by thinking about everything that could go wrong, you will carry anxiety into events that have not even happened yet. But if you begin with intention, something different happens. You create distance between yourself and the world. You have time to remember who you are before other people tell you who you should be. You have time to decide what matters before urgent things begin demanding your attention. You have time to choose how you will live before circumstances begin testing that choice. The next 8 principles do not promise to help you control everything. You will still encounter difficult people. Plans may still fail. Bad news may still arrive. You may still be rejected, misunderstood, criticized, or disappointed. But that was never the goal of Stoicism. The goal is to build a mind strong enough that what happens outside you does not automatically determine what happens within you. And that must be practiced before the crisis arrives. Not when you are already angry. Not when you have already lost focus. Not when you are already exhausted. But in the morning. In those first few minutes when the mind is still quiet and the world has not fully entered yet. If you practice the principles that follow, the morning will no longer be merely the time between waking up and beginning your work. It will become the place where you set your standards for yourself, where you decide what deserves your attention, what is not worth reacting to, what you can control, and what you must learn to let go. This is not a way to create a perfect day. It is a way to enter an imperfect day while still remaining in control of yourself. And the first principle begins with an extremely simple action that most people have forgotten how to practice. Do not let the world touch your mind the moment you wake up. Secret one. Don't touch the world before you touch your own mind. The moment you wake up, a competition begins. On one side is your attention. On the other is an entire world trying to capture it. Your phone is lying right beside you. With a single touch, hundreds of voices immediately enter your mind. Messages from other people, unfinished work, news you cannot control, perfect lives on social media, problems that did not even exist in your life until you saw them. And within just a few minutes, a mind that was once quiet has become a crowded room. This is how most people begin their day. They have not yet had time to ask themselves how they want to live today, but they already know what everyone else is doing. They have not decided what truly matters, but they have already consumed whatever an algorithm decided was worthy of their attention. They have not chosen their mental state, but a message, a comment, or a headline has already chosen it for them. That is not control. That is surrender. A Stoic would ask one simple question: is this within my control? You cannot control which messages arrive. You cannot control what other people post. You cannot control which news stories appear. But you can control when you allow those things to enter your mind. That is a power many people voluntarily give away every morning. So try one simple principle. For the first 30 minutes after waking up, do not touch your phone unless it is genuinely necessary. No news, no social media, no email, no checking to see who has messaged you. Instead, give your mind some time to return to itself. Drink a glass of water. Open a window. Breathe. Sit quietly for a few minutes, take a short walk, or simply ask yourself, what is truly within my control today? You do not need to turn your morning into an elaborate ritual. The goal is not to become a perfect person. The goal is to stop allowing the world to decide your first thought. Imagine two people waking up at 7 in the morning. The first immediately reaches for his phone. He sees an unpleasant email from work, a post from a friend who seems more successful than he is, and a negative news story. Before he has even left his bed, he is already anxious, comparing himself, and angry. The second person wakes up and does not touch his phone. He spends a few minutes in silence, identifies the 3 most important things he needs to do that day, and reminds himself that other people's attitudes are outside his control. Both may face the same world, but they do not enter that world with the same mind. And that is what matters, because your attention is not merely where you look, it is what is building your life. What you repeatedly pay attention to influences your thoughts. Your thoughts influence your emotions. Your emotions influence your actions. And actions repeated long enough become your life. So every morning, before you open your phone, remember this. If you do not decide what deserves your attention, the world will decide for you. And the world rarely makes that decision based on what is best for your mind. The first 30 minutes are not a time to escape reality. They are a time to prepare yourself to enter it with greater strength. Protect the door to your mind, at least until you have decided who will hold the key. Secret 2. Get up before your mind starts negotiating. There is a very small moment every morning that can reveal how much control you truly have over yourself. It is the moment your alarm goes off. You know you should get up, but then a voice appears. Just 5 more minutes. I'm tired today. I deserve a little more rest. I'll be more disciplined tomorrow. The problem is not the 5 minutes. The problem is that you are beginning your day by teaching your mind that your decisions can be renegotiated the moment discomfort appears. The night before, you decided to wake up at a certain time, but the next morning, simply because the bed is warm and your body wants more sleep, you immediately break that commitment to yourself. Once may seem insignificant, but if this happens every day, you are building a dangerous habit. Temporary feelings are always allowed to overrule long-term decisions. This is where discipline begins. Not in the gym, not when you face a major project, not when life puts you through a terrible challenge, but in the very ordinary moment when your body says, I don't want to, and you answer, I'm doing it anyway. Marcus Aurelius had to remind himself to get out of bed. He understood the appeal of comfort, but he also asked himself, was I born just to lie under the blankets and keep warm? That question still matters today. You do not need to hate rest. You do not need to force yourself to sleep 4 hours a night just to prove that you are strong. Sleep deprivation is not discipline. Destroying your body is not Stoicism either. But when you have slept enough, deliberately set your alarm and know that it is time to get up, then get up. Do not start a debate. Do not give your mind 5 minutes to create 20 excuses. Put your feet on the floor. Stand up. Move. Because quick action often defeats hesitation before hesitation has time to grow stronger. Imagine someone who sets his alarm for 6:30 every morning. He has an important goal: to exercise, learn a new skill, or spend an hour working on something that could change his future. But every morning, he hits snooze. Once, then twice, then 3 times. Eventually, he wakes up late, rushes to get ready, and promises himself that tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow looks exactly like today. Not because he lacks potential, but because every morning he is practicing the habit of not trusting his own promises. This is the deeper consequence of repeatedly breaking small commitments. You lose trust in yourself. You say you will do something, but part of you already knows that perhaps you will not. You set goals, but your mind no longer treats them as commands. It treats them as suggestions that can be changed depending on how you feel. If you want to regain control, begin with a victory so small that there is nothing to debate. When it is time to get up, get up. No inspiration required, no motivation required. You do not need to feel ready. A disciplined person is not someone who always wants to do the right thing. It is someone who understands that feelings do not have to agree before action begins. And every time you act according to a decision rather than a temporary emotion, you send yourself a message. My word has weight. My decisions matter. I do not need to feel comfortable to do what needs to be done. It is a small victory. But if you win it every morning, you are building something far greater than the habit of getting up on time. You are building the ability to command yourself. And someone who cannot master himself while the bed is still warm will find it much harder to master himself when life becomes truly difficult. Secret 3. Decide what is within your control before the day begins. Every morning, your mind tends to wake up with a list of things to worry about. The meeting ahead, a difficult conversation, someone who might reject you, a result you are waiting for, a bill that needs to be paid, a problem that remains unresolved. And before the day has truly begun, you are already trying to live in 10 different futures at once. This is one of the fastest ways to lose control. Not because those problems are not real, but because you are spending your energy on both the things you can influence and the things that are completely beyond your power. Epictetus began his philosophy with a simple distinction. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. The principle sounds simple, but if you truly apply it every morning, the way you live will change. Suppose you have an important job interview today. You can control your preparation. You can control whether you arrive on time. You can control how you answer, how you listen, and how much effort you give. But you cannot control the interviewer's mood. You cannot control the other candidates. You cannot control the final decision. If you spend your morning obsessing over the outcome, you are placing your mental state in the hands of something that has not yet happened and is not entirely within your control. The Stoic does something different. He asks, "What part of this belongs to me?" And then he directs all his energy toward that part. Apply this every morning with a very simple exercise. Take a piece of paper and divide it into 2 sections. On one side, write, "I control." On the other, write, "I do not control." On the first side, you might write, "My effort, my attitude, the way I speak, how I use my time, whether I keep my word." On the second side, what other people think of me, whether someone replies to my message, the final outcome, what happened yesterday, unexpected events. Then look at both lists. Where does most of your anxiety live? Most likely, it lives on the second list. We often neglect what we can control because we are too preoccupied with what we cannot. We worry about how others judge us, but we do not improve our actions. We worry about the outcome, but procrastinate on the preparation. We fear the future, but waste the present. That is the reversal the Stoics wanted to correct. The morning is not the time to solve your entire life. It is the time to identify your part of the responsibility for today. Only that part. When a problem appears, ask, "What can I do right now?" If the answer is something, take action. If the answer is nothing, stop paying for it with your peace of mind. This does not mean becoming indifferent. It means you stop confusing worry with action. Worrying about something you cannot control does not make you more responsible. It only makes you more exhausted. So tomorrow morning, before you place the weight of the entire world on your shoulders, stop. Identify your part. Do it well. And let the rest unfold as it must. If you are ready to stop wasting energy on things beyond your control, comment, "I control my response." Because sometimes, power does not come from gaining more control over the world. It comes from finally understanding the limits of your power and focusing all your strength where it truly matters. Secret 4. Prepare for difficulty before it appears. Most people begin the day with a silent hope. I hope everything goes smoothly today. I hope no one bothers me. I hope nothing goes wrong. I hope everyone behaves the way I want them to. But the world never signed that agreement. Someone may be rude. A plan may fail. Traffic may make you late. An email may bring bad news. Someone may misunderstand you, criticize you, or fail to recognize what you have done. And if you enter the day expecting everything to go smoothly, every obstacle will have the power to make you lose control. Marcus Aurelius chose a different approach. Every morning, he reminded himself that he would encounter people who were meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, envious, and difficult. Not to become bitter, not to become suspicious of everyone, but to prepare himself. Because what you have mentally prepared to face is less likely to catch you by surprise. Imagine knowing in advance that it is going to rain. You bring an umbrella. When the rain begins, you do not stand in the middle of the street and shout, "Why is this happening to me?" You already knew the possibility existed. You prepared for it, and you keep walking. The difficulties of life work the same way. Every morning, take 1 minute and ask, what could become difficult today? Perhaps a coworker will test your patience. Perhaps your plans will not stay on schedule. Perhaps you will feel tired in the afternoon and want to give up. Perhaps someone will say something you do not like. Then ask the more important question. How do I want to respond when that happens? Do not merely imagine the problem. Prepare your response. If someone is rude, I will not immediately become like them. If the plan fails, I will adjust instead of complaining. If I feel tired, I will complete the most important task before I rest. If I am criticized, I will first consider whether there is any truth in it before defending my ego. This is a form of Stoic mental training. You do not predict the future so you can fear it. You imagine difficulty so you can reduce the power of its surprise. Because many times, what makes you lose your composure is not the event itself. It is the thought, this should not be happening. But why shouldn't it? You are living among imperfect people in an uncertain world with a body that has limits and plans that can always change. Difficulty is not a flaw in life. It is part of life. So do not wake up demanding that the world be easy on you. Wake up and prepare yourself to remain steady when it is not. The strongest calm is not the calm that exists when everything goes your way. It is the calm that has already been prepared for the moment when things no longer do. Every morning, look at the day ahead and tell yourself, I do not know exactly what will happen, but I know who I want to be when it does. That is real control. Secret 5. Win the most important task before the world distracts you. A day can be extremely busy and still be completely meaningless. You can answer dozens of emails, read hundreds of messages, attend multiple meetings, complete countless small tasks, move constantly from morning until night, and at the end of the day, still realize that the most important thing never got done. This is one of the most dangerous illusions of modern life. We confuse being busy with making progress. The morning gives you a rare opportunity. Your energy is often still intact. Your mind has not yet been fragmented by hundreds of decisions. Other people's demands have not yet completely taken over your time. But if you do not know what matters most, urgency will always win. Emails will seem pressing. Notifications will demand a response. Other people will place their goals into your schedule. And by the end of the day, you will be exhausted without having moved any closer to the life you actually want to build. The Stoic does not judge a day by the number of activities completed. The more important question is, did I use my time according to my values and responsibilities? So every morning, choose one thing, not 10. One. The one thing that, if completed, would allow you to say that today truly moved forward. Maybe it is writing 1,000 words, completing a workout, preparing for an exam, making a difficult phone call you have been avoiding, finishing the most important part of a project, or spending time being truly present with someone you love. Then, if possible, do it before the day becomes chaotic. Do not use your best hours of concentration on tasks that do not require your best abilities. Do not give your strongest energy to email and leave whatever remains for your dreams. Reverse the order. Important work first, noise later. Imagine two people who both want to write a book. The first wakes up, checks email, reads the news, responds to messages, and handles small tasks. He always intends to write after everything else is finished, but everything else is never finished. The second person gives the first hour of his day to the book, just 500 words every morning. Nothing impressive, nothing dramatic. But after 1 year, the first person is still talking about the book he wants to write. The second has written more than 100,000 words. Life rarely changes because of one extraordinary day. It changes because small priorities are protected for long enough. That is why the morning has power. It gives you the opportunity to put what matters before what feels urgent, before the world asks what you want, before other people demand your time, before fatigue pushes you toward the easier path. Every morning, ask yourself, if I could complete only one truly meaningful thing today, what would it be? Then begin. Do not wait for inspiration. Do not wait for a perfect day. Do not wait until all the small tasks disappear. They will not. You do not need to control the entire day. You only need to protect the most important part of it. Because if you win one truly important task every day, a year from now, your life could be in a completely different place. Not because you did more than everyone else, but because you stopped letting small things steal what was great. Secret 6. Choose discomfort before discomfort chooses you. Modern people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to avoid discomfort. We want the room to be at the perfect temperature. The food must taste exactly right. The work must not be too difficult. People must speak to us in the right way. And when one small thing does not go as expected, we easily become impatient, angry, or ready to give up. The Stoics saw a danger in becoming too dependent on comfort. If you can only remain calm when everything feels pleasant, you are not truly calm. You are simply living under favorable conditions. Seneca sometimes deliberately practiced deprivation. He ate simple food, wore rough clothing, and asked himself whether this was really what he had once been afraid of. The purpose was not to torture himself. The purpose was to prove that discomfort did not have as much power as the mind imagined. You can apply the same principle to your morning. You do not need extreme challenges. You do not need to take ice baths just to prove something on social media. Simply choose one thing that is slightly uncomfortable but useful. Get out of bed when you want to sleep longer. Exercise when you do not feel like it. Take a walk without your phone. Complete the hardest task before the easy one. Sit in silence instead of searching for stimulation. Small discomfort becomes a place where you practice an important ability, feeling something without being forced to obey it. Your body says, "I don't want to." You answer, "I understand." But we're doing it anyway. That is discipline, not self-hatred, not punishment, but the ability to keep the power of decision even when your feelings suggest an easier path. Think of someone who constantly avoids every small discomfort. He hits snooze because the bed is too warm, skips his workout because he feels slightly tired, procrastinates because the work is difficult, avoids a necessary conversation because it feels uncomfortable. Each individual decision seems insignificant, but over time, a pattern begins to form. His life becomes increasingly limited by whatever he feels like doing. It is a very comfortable prison. And precisely because it is comfortable, it is difficult to recognize. Every morning, choose one small action that allows you to step outside that prison. You do not need to tell anyone. You do not need to take a picture. You do not need to turn it into your identity. You only need to prove to yourself that comfort is not the one in charge. When you voluntarily choose a small difficulty, the difficulties you did not choose later in the day become less frightening. You have practiced not running away the moment discomfort appears. And that is something life will always demand from you. If you are ready to choose discipline over comfort, comment, "I choose discipline." Not because discomfort itself makes you stronger, but because every time you refuse to let it command you, you reclaim a part of your control over yourself. And sometimes, the secret to becoming harder for life to defeat is simply to stop demanding that life always make you comfortable. Secret 7. Decide who you will be before the day tests you. Most people do not decide who they are going to be during the day. They wait to see what happens. If people are kind, they are kind. If work goes smoothly, they remain calm. If they are respected, they behave well. But if someone insults them, they become angry. If a plan fails, they complain. If they feel tired, they give up. In other words, their character changes with their circumstances. The Stoic chooses a different path. Every morning, before stepping into the world, ask yourself, who do I want to be today? Not what do I want to achieve? Not how do I want other people to treat me, but who do I want to be when things do not go my way? Perhaps the answer is patient, disciplined, courageous, calm, honest. Choose one quality, just one, and carry it with you as a principle for the day. If you choose patience, remember it when someone annoys you. If you choose discipline, remember it when you want to procrastinate. If you choose courage, remember it when a difficult conversation appears. Because a quality only has meaning when it is tested. You do not know how patient you are when no one is bothering you. You do not know whether you are disciplined when everything is easy. You do not know how courageous you are when there is nothing to fear. Challenges do not destroy your character. They reveal whether that character truly exists. Imagine choosing calmness in the morning. A few hours later, someone says something that makes you angry. That moment is the test. You may still feel the anger. Stoicism does not ask you to become an emotionless machine, but between emotion and action, you have a choice. You can react immediately, or you can remember the decision you made that morning. Today, I choose calm. You may still be imperfect. Sometimes, you may still fail. But every time you remember your principle before reacting, you narrow the distance between the person you want to become and the person you actually are. This is why the Stoics cared more about character than circumstances. You cannot decide whether people will respect you today, but you can decide whether you will behave in a way worthy of respect. You cannot guarantee that you will win, but you can decide how you will fight. You cannot control everything that will happen, but you can choose the person who will face it. So before you leave the house, complete this sentence. Today, no matter what happens, I will be a underscore person. Fill in the blank, and then live in a way that proves your answer. Because real control is not about making the world obey your will. It is about refusing to let the world decide who you will become. Secret 8. Wake up as if today is not guaranteed. There is a truth that almost everyone knows, but very few people truly live by. You are not guaranteed another day. We wake up as if time were unlimited. We postpone what matters. We save the words that need to be spoken for tomorrow. We carry old resentment with us. We waste hours on meaningless arguments, forgettable content, and worries about things we cannot control. Because deep down, we always assume we still have time. Tomorrow, I will begin. Next week, I will change. When things get better, I will start living the right way. But the Stoic does not take a new day for granted. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of the brevity of life, not to live in fear, but to see the value of the present more clearly. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. It sounds dark, but when understood correctly, it is one of the most liberating reminders you can carry into every morning. Because if today truly matters, do you still want to spend your entire morning angry over a meaningless comment? Do you still want to postpone what you know needs to be done? Do you still want to spend your energy trying to please people who will never be satisfied? Do you still want to carry yesterday's argument into a completely new day? Awareness of death does not make life smaller. It removes the small things that are taking over your life. Every morning, take a moment to remember that today is finite. You do not know how many mornings you have left. No one does. So do not use this truth to panic. Use it to prioritize. If something matters, begin. If there are words that need to be spoken, do not postpone them forever. If you need to apologize, put down your ego. If there is someone you love, be truly present when you are with them. If something is outside your control, ask yourself whether it deserves to take another day of your peace. Imagine that every morning, you are given a coin that must be spent before the day ends. You cannot save it for tomorrow. You cannot get it back once it has been wasted. Time is the same, but because we cannot see it leaving our hands, we behave as though we possess an unlimited supply. You do not own time. You are only using it. And every morning is a reminder that you have been given another piece of your life. Do not ask only, "What do I have to do today?" Ask, "If I truly understood that this day will never return, How would I live it differently? Perhaps you would complain less, procrastinate less, try less to prove yourself, worry less about opinions that do not matter, and focus more on the work, the people, and the principles that truly matter. This is the final secret of control. You cannot control how many days you have, but you have the power to decide what you will do with the day you have now. You cannot command time to stop, but you can stop voluntarily wasting it. You do not know whether today will be your last day, and that is exactly why you should not live as though you have unlimited tomorrows to fix what should have been started today. Every morning, when you open your eyes, remember, this is not just another day. This is a part of your life, and once it passes, no power in the world can bring it back. You do not need a perfect morning. You do not need to wake up at 5. You do not need to follow 15 different habits. You do not need to live like a machine of discipline that never gets tired, never hesitates, and never fails. You only need to remember one thing. The first few minutes of a new day are where you decide who will be in control. You, or the outside world. If you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, the world will decide what captures your attention. If you negotiate with every feeling of discomfort, your emotions will decide your actions. If you worry about things beyond your control, you will spend your strength fighting battles you cannot win. But you can choose differently. You can protect your mind from the noise. Get up before hesitation begins to negotiate. Separate what you control from what you must let go. Prepare for difficulty before it appears. Protect your most important task from distraction. Voluntarily choose a small discomfort. Decide who you want to be before circumstances test you. And remember that today is not something you are guaranteed forever. Those are the 8 secrets, but in truth, they all lead to one principle. Reclaim command over yourself before you try to command anything else. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control other people. You cannot control every outcome. You cannot control the surprises waiting ahead, but you can control where you place your attention. You can choose your response. You can keep your word to yourself. You can decide what deserves your limited time. And sometimes, that is all the power a person truly needs. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, do not try to change your entire life in 1 hour. Just win the first moment. Do not immediately touch the world. Return to yourself. Remind yourself what is within your control. Choose one important task. Choose one quality you will protect. And then step into the day with a mind that already has someone in command. If these principles have helped you see your mornings differently, subscribe to continue exploring how Stoicism can help you build a calmer, more disciplined mind that is harder for the outside world to control. Because your life is not built only by the big decisions. It is built by ordinary mornings, the moments no one sees, the small choices no one applauds, and the times you do what is right, even when your feelings want the opposite. You do not need to control your entire life today. Begin by controlling how you enter the day, because if you master your mornings for long enough, one day you may look back and realize you did not just change the way you wake up, you changed the way you live.